Hi everybody, my name is Leslie. Welcome to the Lenzo Reloaded Show. I am so excited kuba ileka first season of the Lenzo Reloaded Show. I know you missed us so much. I am so excited and namuhla ndaba ningarenesha itaba ijoiniwa one of our co-hosts by the name of Priscilla. Itaba ke ibulabula ku show itaba ke ifambisa kuyini imana ngataka ayijoina endlelele. Priscilla, welcome.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? Hi, everyone.
Yes. I mean, it's the first episode. What are you looking forward to?
I'm excited to meet the guests
Right.
and just being on the first episode of the show. I'm super excited.
Yes.
Yeah, can't wait to start this journey.
Alright, this is the first episode and I'm Leslie, also known as Lenzo Reloaded.
And I'm Priscilla.
Peace.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lenzo Reloaded Show. And we are joined today by our guest, the one, the only. He now goes by the name Prophet Keke. Everybody! You can clearly see black and white is a theme for today. We are totally trending. This is it, guys. And we will be talking to him today. Oh, okay. So, Keke, how should I say Prophet?
Anything. Anything. I mean, you know, titles, I'm not really into titles. Keke is Keke.
Okay,
Just
cool.
feel free.
Alright, today I'll call you Keke.
Feel free.
So please tell us, I mean, I've been dying to know. I think everybody else at home wants to know as well. Where have you been?
Yo, sis, I don't know where to start. I've been around. There's been a lot of things. You know, when I left the music scene, and I left the pulpit, left the preaching, and running a church, it was around, I think, 2010. And at that time, it was a very serious season for me,
Yeah.
because I've been through too many battles. So
Yeah.
I had to take a break, and because of depression. So one had to take a step back, get off the pulpit, and get yourself together. So with that regard, where singing and ministry is concerned, I had to take a break.
Take a break.
It was necessary for me because I remember the doctor saying, either you continue or die.
Oh, wow.
Stop
Okay.
and live. So I had to do what the doctor was suggesting, and here am I, still alive.
Oh, okay. And what are you currently up to? Are you still working on anything musical-wise, or are you preaching?
Yeah, preaching. We have been preaching. We have been doing a lot of traveling. You know, mostly outside the country. But you know, one has to work and stop. If I feel I'm tired, if I feel that exhaustion is coming,
Yeah.
I have to stop. you know.
Okay. Yeah.
But I have been preaching. I have been working.
Okay.
I've been working with different guys. Joseph Magola. We did about 12 songs with him.
Yeah.
I've been in the studio with Tato, one of our oldest engineers.
Yeah.
We've done about 8 songs with him. And one of my friends, Pastor T, I've been with him in the studio. We did about 18 songs. So I've been doing a lot of songs, working on what the trend and where the trend is going.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when am I releasing.
That
It's a
is the
question
question. We all want to know when is Keke releasing, because it's been, hey?
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
So do you think we'll be hearing anything from you soon?
Definitely
or-
this year.
Definitely this year.
Definitely this
Ah,
year.
guys, you heard it from the Lenzo
Yes.
Reloaded show first.
Yes.
Definitely this year.
Definitely
He
this
will be releasing something.
Yeah, but I'm still wondering, should I do a single or should I release an EPK? You know, I'm still working on it.
Listen,
I'll leave it to my team.
whatever it is, we are hungry for it. We just say whatever it is, we can't wait, whether it's an EPK, whether it's a single, we are ready, we are waiting. I'm sure everybody at home feels the very same way,
Wow.
right? So, besides the music, because clearly you're still working behind the scenes, you are going to do something which gets us excited. I read somewhere that
Yes.
you are now a prophet.
Yo, it is not a now thing. Before the music, I was a prophet.
Before the
Yeah.
music.
This prophetic thing, you know, the prophetic doesn't reach you. You are born with it. You grow with it. It's a gift from God. I've had it from when I was still young. You know, before the famous Keke. You know,
Okay.
I was already traveling as a young prophet.
Oh, wow.
You trace me back to Zoe Bible Church. I would be called out of Sunday school to come and prophesy in the main service.
Wow, that, yeah. Wow.
and even my family. You see, it's one thing to become a prophet out there, and your family members, you're, oh, he's a prophet. My family members know, because I told my brother, my late brother, how he's going to pass on. I told him, I said, this is how he's going to pass on. This is how he's going to leave the earth. My mother had she was once diagnosed with brain cancer. It wasn't brain cancer. Pus kept on coming out of her eyes, and she had grown. She had this big growth.
Yeah.
And I saw her healing, and I told her, by this time you will not be going to the hospital. And my late brother, I remember when he had epilepsy. I didn't know I had an elder brother with epilepsy because I didn't grow up with all my brothers. And it hit him one day. I was with him. I just prayed for him. He never had epilepsy again in his life. And so this thing kept on growing.
Yeah.
It kept on growing. Friends around me, and even during my music journey, I mean, I would be traveling with my former manager, Opa, and I would say, Opa, sleeping, I would wake up, slow down, there's an accident in the next 2 kilometers. And right when we appear, maybe on the blind spot, there's this, how did you know? Because it's a gift that God gives you.
Yeah.
You know, so being a prophet has been with me before the singer beat.
Okay.
Before the Keke singing.
Yeah.
There was that element. It's just that music took over, and somehow it was growing within me.
Okay. So
Yes.
when did you fully start embracing? I think I should call it that
Yes.
because you were with it the whole time,
Yes.
but you were just not giving it that.
I'm still hiding it even now.
Why?
I feel being. Have you watched Lord of the Rings? I feel like I'm the guy who's carrying a ring, and everybody and everything that is happening is happening because of this ring that I'm carrying, the ring of power. Yeah, my precious. I've held on to the prophetic, and I've been, I don't want to say selfish, but being very careful about it.
Yeah.
Because of what it can bring, the things it attracts.
All right.
Everybody's trying you. You'll be tried by everyone.
So if you had to choose between being a prophet or doing music,
Oh, if God would say to me, leave,
Yeah.
I will leave the prophetic now. Because the prophetic is a problem. It makes you not be yourself. And you sometimes carry messages you don't want to carry.
All right. Now we're going into deep stuff. So
Deeper side.
yeah, we're digging it deeper now. So I read across somewhere that you actually opened up about being depressed, and you know it's a common problem within our society where we're silently suffering from depression. What made you realize that you were actually suffering from depression?
Yo, I did not know I had depression. I did not know what depression was.
Yeah.
But I think I've had it for longer than when I was discovered. Here's who Keke was during depression. I used to eat a lot, sleep a lot, but when I wake up, I'm still tired.
Yeah.
I had anger bursts that are from nowhere. Small things could make me, like, switch me off. I couldn't stand the light.
Okay.
This is too much
It
light
was
for
too
me.
bright.
Yeah, I would want to switch off. And my wife realized that I did not know I have depression. So it was that scenario where my wife sat me down and said, look, let's go look for help. You are always tired. You eat a lot, you get angry, and I used to shake at night, and then you sweat at night. This is not normal. This is not normal. When you get happy, you get too happy, you know, on the extreme, everything's on extreme.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I didn't want to be around people. You know, if I'm around people, I want to do whatever I'm doing and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So when my wife took me to the psychiatrist and they discovered after doing assessment that I have depression.
Yeah.
And one other thing of the depression, I always needed adrenaline because I wanted to drive fast. I'm always driving fast. It's always tense around driving, you know. Everything around me is tense, you know.
Yeah.
Everything is overdone. I overdo everything. That was a sign of depression with my anger test and all the stuff. So I then admitted. The doctor told me, the professor told me, look, you have depression. You are a time bomb ticking.
Taking time. Okay. Just to interrupt you a little bit there. When your wife came to you and told you that you have depression, now you're a Christian, you're black. And you know, in our society, depression is something that's never really spoken about. Depression is something that it's a luxury disease where people tend to think, you're too young to be depressed, you're too successful to be depressed, you're too famous to be depressed. How did you take it when she told you that there's a possibility that you were depressed?
Actually, my wife told me, this is not normal. That's how she started. This is not normal. Your anger bursts, you know, fear of light. It was all pointing to depression. She told me that she did not tell me straight that I have depression. It was the doctor told me that I have depression.
Okay.
But she knew something is not right. And I took it fine.
You took
Because
it fine.
I knew I needed help. But I did not know how to get help for myself.
Yeah.
And obviously it was becoming hectic for her. It was becoming a problem to her. It was stressing her, and I could see it starting to stress her. And so when I decided, when she told me, when the doctor told me, I took kind. You know, I embraced it because I knew I needed help.
That's good. And in terms of her, besides her being your support, because she's the one who actually picked it out, how did your family respond? Like, were they supportive? Like, what was their reaction when you told them that you have depression?
Well, I don't think I told them. I think she told them because obviously she talks to my mom almost every day, and we are a family that communicates. There was a time I was away from home and she had to explain to them. I want to believe that she explained to them when I was not around to say, look, Habi's not around. He's in the hospital. He'll be there for the whole month.
Yeah.
This is what the doctor discovered, and so he'll be coming home weekends. But there is a time that he's not going to be coming home. So I think that's when they started understanding all my anger bursts, every wrong thing that everything that I was doing, that I was overdoing. I think they adjusted to that because obviously there was a lot of misunderstandings. With everyone, taxi drivers, you name it, I would park the car and say, Waza, come, let's go. You're ready. Biggest pampanza shaya. You know?
Yeah.
I was that ready kind of person. So I knew, man, there's something is wrong. I'm angry somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember one day one of our Metro FM presenters asked me, he said, what do you have in you? They were talking about a gift. I just said anger.
Anger as a gift.
No, I did. I knew they were talking about gifts, you know, what do you have in you? She was actually talking about what do you have in your hand, Ntshembo Ngomani.
Yeah.
She was talking about what do you have in your hand, you know, that you can present to the world and that you can free yourself from what you have. And I just said on radio, I've got anger. And I realized that day, I'm angry.
That's something that's very deep. And
Yep.
right now, considering you were lucky enough to have it discovered by somebody else who was able to assist you, what do you think we need as the black community in terms of awareness for depression and anxiety and all those mental diseases that people don't really talk about? Because I mean, depression is really shied upon. You have a lot of people that are suffering in silence. How do we make society just grasp and understand the depth of depression and the seriousness of depression?
I think we need to be brutally honest with ourselves. There's a text in the Bible where Jesus was going to heal heal a 12-year-old child,
Yeah.
girl. But before he reached to that place, there was a woman who touched her. And Jesus felt that the power is left. And then Jesus stopped and asked the question. Who touched me? And I think, especially as preachers, as people in the media, we get to a point where we get depleted. We get depleted too. There comes a point where there's nothing else to give. You take this show, but you know my prayer life has not been well. You take this gig because you have 10 people, the 10 families that you have to feed who are part of your band. But in your heart, you don't want to do it. You're depleted. You've got nothing else to give. The voice is there, the act is there, but God is no longer part of this. You need time to go. So I think we need to be brutal with ourselves. Like I was brutal with my church and they did not understand. But I told them, I've got nothing else to preach to you. I've got sermons, but there's nothing I'm going to say to you that is going to help you now because I'm depleted. So people need to stop and ask questions. It's about time that as human beings, we need to be brutal with ourselves as preachers, people, to say, I got nothing else to give. It's time for me to be selfish to myself.
It is true. And in terms of the churches, because a lot of people think you can just pray the depression away. How do churches now, you're coming in as a prophet, as a man of God, and as a pastor, how would you advise the churches to handle depression and all these other mental issues?
Sis, if I can tell you the number of pastors who came to me after I came out about depression. I'm talking about people that I can call fathers who cry in front of my face and say, I'm depressed. I think the church needs to be educated.
True.
I think the church needs to dig deeper into, because it's a demon. It's not just it's a demon that messes with your chemistry in your body. You run out of that adrenaline, that those shock absorber. It's a demon because it will isolate you. It will tell you things that don't exist.
True.
People will be laughing and you would know that you would think people are laughing at you. You lose your confidence. You lose. It's a demon. It's a demon. But also, besides being too spiritual, the church needs to be educated. Let's get the psychologist, put them in front. Let them tell the church what is depression, so that the people can come out and say, I've got depression, I need to deal with it.
Alright, thank you so much. I mean, that was very informative and very deep, I must say. Nearly cried there a bit. But I'm good. Like, now it's our turn to demystify the religious. I read somewhere that you went to Shiri's School of Prophecy to become a prophet. So if you can just enlighten us with that.
I went to, I'm shocked because my prophetic has been on from 2008 officially.
Officially 2008.
Whoever wrote that, I wonder what they drank or smoked, because definitely they are confused themselves. My prophetic, I've been a prophet from 2008. When I first launched the church, I was already a prophet in 2008. I got my prophetic training at Ntshembo Ngomani in Wakaville. And when I left Joyous Celebration 2001 until 2005, I majored in Christian mysticism. I studied Christian mysticism. I majored also in prophetic dynamics, where you study different orders and you study astrology and astronomy. These were my majors because I was in the order of Daniel, and Samuel also was dealing with that. My prophetic was trained by the late Bishop Brenda Makanda and the husband. I was ordained by them. I was anointed by them. I was released to start a ministry and to start a church by them. They were present. And so my moving into the man of God who was in Pretoria, it was, I could call it a surrogate season, because remember I was in depression. So I needed to be still in a prophetic environment, but to sit in that environment, because the only thing I've known all my Christian life is the prophetic. I was prophesying in a Pentecostal church. In Sunday school. You know, my family members know I've been a prophet from young. I went for training, by Bishop Makanda at School of Mystery, School of Samuel the Prophet, and this is where my prophetic comes from. Didn't get it from Pretoria.
Didn't get it from Pretoria, guys. You heard it from the horse's
Didn't
mouth.
get it from ECG.
Yeah.
So this is where my prophetic comes from, and there's a lot of us who are trained there, you know.
Yeah.
And I have a certificate. I am a qualified practitioner.
Yes.
Prophet.
Hello.
And I must say
Yeah.
that when both my parents passed on, my spiritual parents, at that time we were still in ECG because of there was issues also in the ministry. So I'm now with their parents, which is Bishop Jordan. Bishop Jordan is the guy who prophesied the Sharpeville 6 that was supposed to be killed, and he said they will not be killed.
Okay.
That's the man of God. You can check him at bishopjordan.com. He is the most trusted prophet in America. That is my spiritual father.
Oh.
That is the man that I'm talking to.
Hello, bars. That you heard it from the horse's mouth, guys, and this was an amazing show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
It's all from me today, unfortunately, but I leave you in the lovely hands of my co-host Lenzo. You guys are gonna have pretty much awesome fun. It's been real. It's been lovely. Thank you so much, guys.
I am so excited to be sitting right next to the amazing Keke Phoofolo. Oh my God.
Thank you, sir.
Such an honor. Alright, so I'm going to introduce this next segment. It's called I Start It and then he finishes it. Alright, so I'm going to start a song basically and then you finish it. Alright, I think you should take off the, I don't know. okay, cool. We're cool. Alright, so I'm going to start.
It's hot in here.
It's getting down. Alright. Kidumeti Homurena Kimu Nehire Biluyaga Nifulahai Lampi disao rato lahai liansidi isa. There's another one. Madia Swama Kriven Limesi Lithakuring Oh Kaona Kiritaswe Shikwembu Shaina Shabula bula, shabula bula, shabula bula, shabula bula, shabula bula, shabula bula, shabula bula. Shabula, bula, shabula, bula, shabula, bula. Blessed. Oh my God! Oh, that was amazing, everybody. That was amazing. Oh my God. The first season, everybody, of the Lenzo Reloaded show, and this was